6-year-old girl's quick thinking saved her dog and her grandma, who fell through the ice in New Hampshire.
9-year-old Spook fell through the ice on Monday in a lake behind his house. The little girl was just getting home when she spotted her dog in the water and her grandma going in after him. She immediately called 911, a move the fire department says may have saved their lives.
She went to Spook and then she fell through. She started going like this and scooting her way out, but she kept falling like this. They asked me what was the address, what's the phone number that you were calling from.
Oh my goodness, what a brave little girl.
Nicely done.
Her grandmother was able to make it back to shore with Spook just before the fire department got there. Thankfully, both of them are okay. Spook's family thinks he'll be more of an indoor dog from now on.
Good thinking for sure. Well, many people wondered why the former head of ESPN left the network so suddenly. Now he's telling The Hollywood Reporter it was because of a cocaine extortion plot. In the interview, John Skipper says he had always been careful about his use of cocaine. But when he changed suppliers, the trouble began. He claims the new supplier threatened him and he thought his career and family were in danger. He says he discussed the situation with the head of the parent company, Disney, and Bob Iger agreed he should step down. After a year in space, astronaut Scott Kelly no longer has the same DNA as his identical twin.
This is pretty interesting. Yeah. A NASA study found that the 54-year-old twins no longer share the same DNA after Scott's one-year stint on the International Space Station, while Mark was on Earth. According to researchers, 7% of Scott's genetic code has been altered. The strain of Scott's year in space may have activated what NASA calls space genes that led to the physical changes. The brothers are the only identical twin astronauts in history.
Makes you wonder what happens if somebody goes to Mars. Local 4 News at 6 coming up next.
Here's Kimberly with a look at what's coming up.
Hey guys, good evening. We've got a lot we're working on, including stories from Ann Arbor, Auburn Hills, and Dearborn. Plus, here's Sean.
A Wayne mother's life is shattered tonight. She lost her 1.5-year-old little boy's life in what's being described as a mysterious death. Tonight, she's speaking only to Local 4.
Because Devin, my son Devin, decides he deserves justice, and that's number one thing. And that's the only thing that matters.
What went wrong here and what this mom wants you to know.
All right, Sean, and live pictures from Miami where several people have died in the collapse of a pedestrian bridge. We're gathering the very latest information on this tragedy for our lead story at 6 o'clock. We'll see you in just a few.
Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
A terrible scene still unfolding down in Florida where several people have been killed by the collapse of a brand new pedestrian bridge. It's a story we've been following closely since our 4 o'clock newscast.
A briefing just wrapped up moments ago at a Miami area hospital where many of those victims were taken. We want to bring in Coco McAvoy, who's been following all this from the newsroom with the latest. Coco?
Jason and Kimberly, we did learn brand new information from that hospital briefing. One of the officials from the hospital reported 10 people were taken to that hospital. 2 of those victims were extremely critical, and the 8 others were in serious but stable condition. Now, that's just one of the hospitals involved in this incident. There are several hospitals taking care of patients in Miami right now, but again, we know at least 10 trauma victims were taken to a hospital, and still we don't know the number of deaths at this time. A horrific scene is unfolding at Florida International University. A pedestrian bridge under construction collapsed, crushing cars and people.
It was like an explosion. It was like a bomb. It was right behind us. And, it could have been us under that bridge.
Multiple people were injured and an undetermined number of people killed when the newly installed bridge came crashing down this afternoon.
Our units responded to find 8 trapped vehicles under the bridge. At this time, we've transported 8 victims to hospitals.
The search for survivors is now underway, and rescue crews are also working on treating the injured.
The main focus here by the fire department obviously is to rescue people.
This time-lapse video shows the 950-ton section of the bridge being installed this past weekend. It spanned 174 feet across the busy 7-lane road. An animation shows what the bridge was supposed to look like when it opened early next year to pedestrians. The bridge was assembled on the side of the road before it was moved into place.
Why would you continue building something when there's traffic moving under you?
It's too early to know what exactly caused the bridge to collapse and who is responsible. The main focus right now is search and rescue. And that bridge was supposed to connect the university to a nearby city. It was also supposed to be able to withstand a Category 5 hurricane. So there are still a lot of unanswered questions in this case. Back to you.
Yeah, there sure are. Coco, has anybody from Florida International said anything about this yet?
Yes, so of course they talked about obviously how traumatic this is for all of their students and staff members, but they also said something very interesting. They said the fact that they had the accelerated bridge construction that was supposed to reduce risk to workers and minimize traffic disruption. So obviously this is a really odd case and a lot of questions need to be answered.
Yeah,
indeed.
For sure.
All right, Coco, appreciate it.
A Fenton man is in custody after he allegedly sent an email to Next Tier Automotive threatening to kill one of their workers and demanding they vote on who it be. Police charged 57-year-old Stephen Chalice with 2 counts of making a false terrorism report and using a computer to commit a crime. Chalice was working on a contract with Next Tier when he allegedly made that threat. Police say Chalice sent the threat after being upset about a setback in his project. Employees contacted police when they received the email. The Genesee County prosecutor saying he's not taking any of this lightly.
Joking around is not a defense under this law. It's not a joke. And none of this is funny. And I'm not laughing at any of these threats. Not today, not ever.
Chalice is currently out on a $60,000 bond.
Well, yesterday we told you about the tragic death of a 1.5-year-old little boy in Wayne while under the care of someone other than his mother. As that investigation moves forward, the little boy's mother wants answers and wants to make it clear that she never left her son in an unsafe situation. Sean Lay is live with that part of the story and joins us with more. Sean?
Kimberly, good evening to you. Here at the medical examiner's office, no cause of death yet for little Devin Bissesi, 1.5 years old, would have been 2 this upcoming May. Now, his mother tonight has this very important message that she says she never left her son, and tonight now she's fighting for justice for her son.
I'll never give up on you, on Devin, or your brothers. I promise. I pinky promise and kiss on it.
There is so much Jessica Bissesi wants to say, but because of a homicide investigation that is unfolding, she can only say so much. Her words make it clear. Her 1.5-year-old son, Devin, is gone, and her world is shattered. The body of Devin Bissesi was found in a small apartment in Wayne Monday that belongs to Jessica's ex-husband, the little boy's stepdad. Jessica says any comments that she left her child or that she was unavailable to police after the shocking discovery was made are false.
I'm involved 100%, especially with everything since the moment I got the phone call. And since the day my baby was born, which I delivered at home myself. I've been here and been there since day one and never gone away, never been without him. I raised my child, raised all my children. They're my world.
Police say 5 other kids lived in the apartment, including 3 of Devin's stepbrothers. It's unclear what happened to little Devin in the home where Jessica believes she thought her son would be safe. A little boy who was full of joy.
Because Devin, my son Devin Bissesi, deserves justice, and that's #1 thing. And that's the only thing that matters.
So heartbreaking for this mom and still very much a mystery. The family will be here at the medical examiner's office sometime tomorrow morning to help identify the little boy's remains. And then at the same visit, they hope to learn how the little boy died and why little Devin died. Kimberly, back to you.
And Sean, I know Michigan State Police said they wanted to find out if little Devin had a medical condition leading up to his death. Were you able to ask the mother about any of that?
We were. She was very strong about that, saying her little boy Devin, well, in her words, was strong as an ox. So she does not believe this has anything to do with a pre-existing medical condition. She's fearing what the police said yesterday, that this is a homicide that needs to be solved.
Yeah, absolutely heartbreaking, and more to come. Sean, we appreciate it.
Ford has made some major announcements about the future of its cars. The auto company announcing by the end of the year 2020, 90% of its vehicles will be trucks, SUVs, or commercial vehicles. And by 2021, Ford expects to sell more hybrid vehicles than Toyota does. Ford outlined new product plans, including an unnamed battery electric 4-door utility vehicle with what it calls the rebel soul of a Mustang. Here you can see the teaser picture it released. That vehicle should be out within the next couple of years. General Motors, not to be outdone, making some announcements today. After more than a year of testing self-driving technology, GM announcing today it will build production versions of its Cruise AV. The models will be made at the Orion Township Assembly Plant right here in Michigan. The Cruise AV is the first production-ready vehicle built to operate on its own with no driver, no steering wheel, pedals, or manual controls.
Well, we have an update to a story we first aired yesterday about a member of the U of M athletics department. According to school officials, Fergus Conley has been fired from the university, formerly director of performance science for Michigan football. He was arrested last week after police say he acted erratically near the scene of a crash. No charges have been filed, but they want to know what caused him to behave that way.
A lot of people feeling like a piece of their childhood is about to disappear with all the Toys R Us stores shutting down.
You're right, but a lot of kids these days have a lot more options than the analog playthings that filled Toys R Us shelves for so long.
Yeah, is there any going back now at this point? Our Paula Tutman explores the impact technology is having on how kids play and learn.
We can all probably remember when playing with a really cool dollhouse was really a lot of fun, but let's think about it. Now, the really cool dollhouses look more like this. So new, it still has that new car smell. The Goddard School for Early Childhood Development in Rochester Hills has only been open since January. The owner, Sandeep Chadha, master's educated in education, had a technology room especially built, but before the school even opened its doors, he had a big change of heart.
I felt the best thing to do was to listen to some of the experts in the field. One of the organizations that deals with this type of learning for young children is called NACCE, and they recommend a maximum of 30 minutes of technology a week.
Instead, his school focuses on imagination-driven, free thought activities, and it shows. 1, 2, 3. Given the choice,
It has a toilet and a living room.
Hamsini would rather play with a real dollhouse. Do you like this one or do you like this one?
This one.
Why?
Because it has a magical door.
It does have a magical door. And so would Natalie. Which dollhouse do you like better? You do? But Mr. Chadha believes that beyond the doors of his school and any other school, technology is killing conventional toys.
Yes, I think so.
Neelam Patel agrees.
Digital fever. You know, they're so obsessed and addicted to the screen that they won't want to stop. They won't want to do anything.
For that reason, she severely limits the time her children spend with things that speak, blink, and talk and do things for them. But she says what's killing big box toy stores more than technology is convenience.
Toys R Us specialized where the big box stores and Amazon, you can get whatever you want, whenever you want. So one trip, you can get all of your needs met.
Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Yeah, that does make it easy. And by the way, a lot of people are wondering what happens to their Toys R Us gift cards once the store shuts down. The chain says it will honor gift cards for the next 30 days, so now is the time to use them. Hurry up.
What a waste.
Get rid of them.
Nothing like walking into those stores as a kid. Let's see what Lester Holt and his team are working on for Nightly News tonight, which is coming up right after our broadcast.
Lester joins us live from New York City with a preview. Hi, Lester.
Hey, Kim, Jason, good to see both of you. We're going to have the latest from the scene of that bridge collapse in Miami that has crushed, now we're told, at least 8 cars. It's left several people dead. Our team is on the ground. We'll have a live report. Plus, making smoking less addictive. The government's bold new approach to limiting nicotine in cigarettes. We'll tell you how they intend to go about that when we see you back here for Nightly News. But now back to you in Detroit.
We'll talk to you in about 20 minutes or so, Lester. We appreciate it. All right, let's
good.
get over to Andrew.
Thank you very much. And yes, we are looking at a few snow showers that are out there, especially here now in Macomb County, mainly north of 8 Mile for now. But watch out on a few slippery surfaces and in pockets where there might be some lower visibility, like right here in southern portions of St. Clair County. But these snow showers are not going to last all night. They'll be diminishing after sunset and certainly by 10, 11 o'clock tonight. Boy, is it chilly today or what? Yes, clouds have come back in after some morning sunshine. 38 degrees, but it feels like it's below freezing. Those snow showers diminish, and look what happens. It clears out nicely for tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine, but where do temperatures go? We'll talk more about that coming up.
They're known for their great customer service, so it's only right that they're being acknowledged for it. I'm Evrod Cassimy. Coming up, we'll tell you which Metro Detroit business is being recognized on a national level for their outstanding service. On Jeopardy!
Zingerman's in Ann Arbor is known for great service, and now the rest of the world could soon know that too. The deli is oh so close to receiving a very prestigious award. Evrod Cassimy has a closer look.
You always feel extremely welcome. It's just it's like Ann Arbor's Happy Feels place.
The customers have nothing but good things to say about Zingerman's Deli. The Ann Arbor staple is known for great customer service, so it's no surprise it's being recognized on a national level as a semi-finalist for the James Beard Foundation Award.
They invest so much in it, and they also have a business of teaching and training people to deliver excellent service, so not surprising at all.
The service here was what made me one of the people I am.
That's kind of what the customers expect, and that's what we have come to know.
Seth Corbin has worked here for about 5 years. Outstanding service is a part of the Zingerman's culture.
Basically getting whatever the guest wants, and doing it in a, good way.
And speaking of great service, one of the people that Zingerman's has had the pleasure of serving is none other than President Barack Obama. He stood in this very spot back in October of 2014, and now his description of the food and service listed there on the menu. He described it as killer.
He just seemed like your pretty down-to-earth guy. He came in with, I think it was probably half a dozen people I think seemed to really enjoy the sandwich.
Zingerman's is now up against restaurants in Chicago, Philly, and San Francisco.
I'm not nervous. I would definitely like to see us win.
Win or lose, restaurant managers want customers to keep coming back for the service they've grown to know and love. Evrod Cassimy, Local 4.
Have a good day. We're going back for those sandwiches is what we're going back for.
It is a big honor, though.
Oh, yeah, very big. In good health tonight, what your handshake could say about the condition of your heart.
But first, a major announcement from the FDA that will affect everyone who smokes cigarettes or is tempted to try. Dr. Frank McGeorge is here to explain.
Yeah, this is a big deal, Jason. And Kimberly, the FDA announced today that it plans to lower the amount of nicotine in cigarettes. Now, the goal is to lower the nicotine to minimally or non-addictive levels. Now, while there is some concern that that might induce smokers to just compensate by smoking more, the FDA actually predicts that approximately 5 million adult smokers would just quit within the first year of change. And over time, of course, millions of teens and young adults would just avoid becoming regular smokers. Now, along those lines, teen tobacco use, of course, is a major concern. And there was another CDC study that finds many teens do not consider themselves to be tobacco users, even if they are. That includes 60% of teens who used e-cigarettes and more than 80% of those who use roll-your-own cigarettes or pipe tobacco. Now, most teens who used hookah, they mistakenly thought that it was not harmful. Experts say doctors and parents really need to ask teens about a variety of tobacco products instead of just tobacco use overall. Now, finally, a strong handshake could indicate a strong heart. There's newly published research that looked at the hand grip strength of over 4,600 adults between the age of 40 and 69 years old. It found a strong hand grip correlated with healthier heart structure. In the study, grip strength was a good indicator of healthy function even before a person showed symptoms of heart problems. Now, the exact reason for that link is not clear, but it actually went beyond simple overall fitness. In other words, just being a stronger person did not necessarily mean that you had that heart benefit.
What are you working with there?
Yeah.
She's got a good heart.
Yeah, let me see.
She's all right.
Yeah, pretty
hanging in there.
Yeah, doing all right.
Who's got the problem?
Okay. Everybody's okay.
The doctor.
Got to call 911 in a second. Got to take
Andrew.
CPR lessons.
This guy's got the old pump's working
so
pretty
far.
good.
Hey, everyone's really pumped up about tonight, right? We got
nice segue. Look
action.
at that.
A lot going on.
Not only tonight, but also tomorrow. Now, it remains chilly, feeling like winter, especially as we go through this evening. Temperatures right now are in the 30s and wind chills are below freezing. And yes, we still have snowflakes flying, ladies and gentlemen. You can see here over on the east side, these areas of gray, literally just a handful of flakes that might be flying. On the far east side of Detroit, as you get closer to Grosse Pointe and Alter Road, north of there, this is where you have a better chance of those flakes actually making it down to the surface. A few flurries and light snow showers, Mount Clemens and northward. And these are going to be drifting overhead as we go over the next hour or two. But then later on tonight, it clears out nicely. But then temperatures fall like a rock, down into the upper teens to only around 20 degrees here in the metro zone, middle, even low teens in other portions of your 4-zone weather, including in Livingston County, also parts of Lapeer County, close to 15 degrees or lower by morning. 38 degrees right now, wind of 14 miles per hour, making it feel like 30 degrees. And the actual temperature is 30 degrees farther to our north, 29 in Lapeer, while farther south, temperatures a little bit higher, but you still need your coats from Dundee over to Adrian, 36 to 37 degrees. And yes, you guessed it. When you step outside, it does feel a little colder than yesterday. All these temperatures, 1, 2, 3, 5 degrees lower than what they were 24 hours ago. And unfortunately, wind not helping out again. Even if it's in the 30s, it feels like it's in the 20s, even wind chills in the teens at this hour, farther to our north. Now, overnight tonight will clear out nicely. That will allow temperatures to drop, though, as high pressure settles in. Winds will still be up there, too. So temperatures in the teens tonight and some wind chills may be stuck in the single digits by morning. But look at all the beautiful sunshine. There is a storm system building to our west, but this high pressure is going to block it, keep it mostly to our south. So we're looking at plenty of sunshine, not just for tomorrow, but also on Saturday and Sunday. So we have to put up with these evening flurries for the next few hours. Temperatures down to 19 degrees overnight. Might need to layer up or make sure the kids have an extra layer tomorrow morning heading to school with some wind chills around 10 or less. But plenty of sunshine. Sunrise is at 7:44 on your Friday morning. 40 degrees for a high, a little higher than today, but below average. You'll need your jackets and coats outside of LCA for March Madness. We've got 45 degrees on Saturday, and look at that, feeling a little more comfortable and milder on Sunday for the second part of March Madness over at LCA, 50 degrees outside the stadium. Temperatures drop, dry on Monday, chance of rain and snow showers, but spring still begins nonetheless at 12:15 p.m. on Tuesday.
We'll see if it feels like it.
Fingers crossed. Okay, guys. Thank you. Bernie's coming up with sports.